I'd like to welcome our clubhouse leader after an excellent round of 6 under par 64, Collin Morikawa. Colin, fantastic round, well done. What was the secret for you today? What went so well?
Just sticking to what I've been doing. Yesterday I thought I played really well, just wasn't hitting as many fairways, was able to hit a few more fairways early on in the round today. And, when I'm in the fairway with a 9 iron or 8 iron, I feel very comfortable. Not necessarily going straight at the pins, but being aggressive with the lines I need to take and slopes you need to play. And, sometimes you have those days where you're very fortunate to have good numbers, and today was one of those days.
Oh, great. Okay, well, we'll take some questions from the floor. Bob at the front, please. The microphone to you. Right in the middle.
Collin, this is a type of golf that usually takes a little bit of getting used to, and guys sometimes take years to figure it out. What have you been able to do in 2 weeks, and how did you approach it coming in, knowing that it's obviously a lot different than what we have at home?
Yeah, I wouldn't be here through these 2 rounds if I hadn't played last week at Scottish. I've played in firm conditions. I can think of places I've played in, tighter, drier conditions, but just having, fescue fairways and the ball sitting a little different was huge to see last week. I changed my irons, my 9 through 7 iron that I normally have blades in. I changed them to the MCs strictly because I couldn't find the center of the face. And, I was hitting these iron shots last week that I normally don't, and my swing felt good. But it was a huge learning opportunity. Last week I wanted to win, but I came out of it learning a lot more, and thankfully it helped for this week.
Okay, Martin, back left, please.
Colin, you seem to have taken to majors very quickly. What's been the secret of your success so far, just the way you've handled these big events?
Yeah, I look at them as obviously they're starred. We get 4 of them a year, and you're trying to definitely win these 4 because they're that big. But, playing in, talk about last year's PGA, I had seen every single guy before. I had played with every single guy, and that doesn't make anything different. It's just the stage that we're on. More media, more spectators, more people around. But that's everything outside that I can control. For me, it's just let's go figure out this golf course Monday through Wednesday like I have been the past couple of years and figure it out on what I need to do to play well. This style of golf is very different. But last week, like I said, helped tremendously.
Okay, next question, middle, please.
Hey, Colin, Chris Clary, New York Times. What's the sense of the Open for you? How much did you watch as a kid? What are your memories from watching it on TV or?
Yeah, as a kid, I was always a morning person, and I still am. So, I woke up early. I didn't stay up through the night to watch it. But, it's a major, and majors are important. Every single one is important to me. For me, I just want to create my own memories. There's memories here and there, and I'm awful with golf history, unfortunately. Like just remembering, certain facts. I did not know 63 was the low out here. I just kind of came out and played golf. And for me, hopefully we can just create memories and create, lifetime memories that hopefully Sunday comes along and, we can talk again.
Okay, next question in the back there, and then...
Hi, Colin. A lot of the guys find it a bit tricky to stay in their houses and their bubble in this time, but how do you deal with that? Have you got a PlayStation or something? What are you doing for your downtime? Because there's not a lot to do if you can't go out.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Last week was a tremendous setup, a very lucky setup to be in the clubhouse and to see other caddies, other players. This week I'm staying in a hotel with my caddy, and we're able to hang out. I just bought a laptop to play, play on my PS4 pretty much for these 2 weeks and the weeks coming. But yeah, it's tough. Try to FaceTime my girlfriend, try to talk to as many people as you can. But to be honest, when you compare it to a normal week, it's not that much different. For me, I'm trying to stay focused. I'm staying within my own, boundaries of what I like to do normally, especially on a major. So I'm very thankful to have my caddy here with me so I can talk to him, play cards with him, and just, get away from the golf course, something that my girlfriend would normally just being there would, talk to. Just separate yourself from the golf course. I think that's huge, especially when you have a lot of time going into the 3rd round or the 4th round.
Okay, we'll take these two questions and switch to Zoom. Front right, please.
It seems the irons aren't the only tweak that you made coming into this week. You're putting conventional from distance. What went into that decision? And is there a certain distance that you do it, or is it just kind of a feel thing?
It's a feel thing, but it's more just, I couldn't get that hit. I couldn't get the tempo on the saw grip, and I think the saw grip is amazing for me. It's going to continue to be in my bag, and as I continue to putt, but from, outside 25, 30 feet, I just couldn't get that hit. I couldn't get that tempo that, you see like a Brandt Snedeker put on his putts. And that's just something you need out here because the greens are just that much slower than what we're used to playing. So just switching to conventional, I didn't have to change anything mentally. I just kind of went at it like I normally felt and, kind of matched the speeds. And that's something that, without my caddy, JJ, I wouldn't have figured out on my own.
Those are two pretty significant changes going into a major. Did that make you uneasy at all?
Not really. Irons, I didn't have to worry about it because I knew once I found center face, I just had to keep swinging it like I have been over the past month and a half, 2 months. So I feel very confident there. Putting, yeah, it had to take some getting used to. But trust me, the saw grip was not working from outside 30 feet. I would have left everything 10 feet short, and I had to change. Sometimes you have to change, and just like the saw grip, when I changed to this, I had to. Mentally, it felt that much better. And even though I didn't know how it was going to perform, you just have to go out and feel confident with what you're doing.
Okay, Phil at the front, please.
Yeah, hi, Colin. You touched on this in answering Chris's question about knowing the 63 being a course record here, etc. Were you even thinking about? We were getting quite excited about the chance of 61 or 62. Were you thinking about that? And secondly, have you forgiven the European Tour for the prank video last week?
I had no clue what any course record was. I don't know any of those numbers. Like I said, I'm awful with that stuff, knowing ahead. Now I do know. But I was just trying to make a lot of birdies. The bogey on, 15 today, was a little unfortunate. I had hit a good second shot out of the rough, put myself in a good position, just didn't have enough speed. But, it's going to happen. Guys are going to make birdies, you're going to make bogeys, and, I'm very pleased with today. And I just need to continue that into the next couple. I wasn't mad at the European Tour. They cleaned it out a little bit. Maybe I was mad 10 seconds after, but it was good fun. European Tour, they do a great job on social media just to involve players like that. I enjoy watching them, but I'm definitely on edge now when I do interviews, so I'll be aware, hopefully, next time.
Okay, I'll hand over to Stuart to take some questions from Zoom.
Thanks, Mike. Yes, Andrew Wright, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask the question.
Colin, great playing today. Also, you won the PGA Championship in your first start, and that was with no fans. I'm just wondering how your first Open experience has compared to that with the crowds, and how you think that might play a factor in the weekend.
Yeah, I've been biased because I've lived in the U.S. my entire life, and I love the fans out there, but I think the fans out here could be even better. They cheer for you walking up to the green, walking up to the tee box, and they truly love golf. You could see it. They really appreciate a good shot. They appreciate, when you play smart and you're out in the rough and you hit it out. They know what tough golf is, and this out here can play very tough when you're not in the fairway. And the fans out here have been amazing. They, like I said, from day one, they bring kind of that energy, that life into what we do. And it's really exciting to see them out here and grow as the weekend comes on.
Okay, the next question is from Owen Slattery. Owen, go ahead.
Hi, Colin. Fantastic round today. Did you find the conditions between day one and day two anyway different? And with all the good scoring you had today, was it maybe a little bit of the grind from 13, 14, 15? Did that give you some optimism for the weekend that if maybe you get into a little bit of trouble, that you can mitigate that and get out of sticky situations? Yeah, I would say condition-wise is slightly more favorable today compared to yesterday afternoon. I think yesterday was gusting a lot more. Today had a very constant wind out of the north, kind of northeast later as the day went on. But yeah, out here in links golf, you're going to hit bad shots. You're going to hit bad approach shots, bad tee shots. So to see, the par save on 13, I'm really going to draw on that for the rest of the week.
because sometimes you have to just bite your tongue, play safe, and try and make par best as you can. But sometimes bogey is going to be your friend. And when you put yourself out of position, I put myself out of position quite a few times yesterday early on, and somehow I was able to get away with par. And those pars go a long way. You remember those a lot more sometimes than some birdies. So yeah, it's going to be huge kind of momentum. And overall, through 2 rounds, just stick to the same thing for the next couple of days.
Okay, the next question is from Neil McClimmon. Neil, go ahead.
Thanks. And apologies if I've touched on this. I've just joined late, but I don't know if you know, Colin, that the first-time winner of winner of the Open on his debut was Curtis here in 2003. I'm not sure you know about that at all in the history, and was it love at first sight for you?
Yeah, I saw a quote, I think Jordan touched on it yesterday, that he tries to show up to courses that he's never been to and find something that he loves. To be honest, I don't think I've ever showed up to a golf course, at least as a professional, and hated the golf course. I always try and fit my game into how do I play my best golf, and I feel like I can win if I stick to what I've been doing. Stick to my approach shots, stick to those 8 irons, 9 irons, 7 irons, because that's my bread and butter. That's what I love to do, and when I'm in the middle of the fairway, I feel like I can, hit it just as close as some guys hit their wedges, especially when I'm on, like, the first 2 days. And yeah, Royal St. George's, it's beautiful. It's a great golf course. I think it fits into a lot of shots that I love to hit. So hopefully we can just keep hitting fairways and giving ourselves good numbers to attack some pins.
If I just confirm, are you very happy with your club manufacturer this week?
I'm sorry? Can you say
I just wanted to confirm. I'm just wanted to confirm you're very happy with your club manufacturer this week.
Yeah, no, I love my clubs. I love every single one of them. Thank you. And that's TaylorMade, by the way.
Okay, the next question comes from Steve DeMeglio. Steve, go ahead.
Colin, I apologize if this has been asked before, but how many irons did you switch out? Are they the same brand or the same type you were using last week? Not brand, I didn't mean that, but the same as last week? And or is it a different version of the TaylorMade?
Yeah, so normally I have a pitching wedge through 7 iron, P730s, the blades. So I switched out my 9 through 7. So only 3 clubs. But those are 3 crucial clubs that are some of my favorite clubs. My 8 iron is my favorite club in the bag, and when I wasn't able to hit it last week I knew I had to try something different. So I switched the P7 MCs, same irons I have in my 6 and 5 iron, so it flows through the set. And I just kept the P730 in the pitching wedge. Just felt like I could work it and figure out distances a little better with that wedge.
Okay, we'll pass back to Mike in the interview room.
Thanks, Stuart. The question back right from John.
Colin, could you just talk through that putt for the length of and what you thought about that putt on the one for 63? It looked, I was to the left of the green, it looked as though it hit the hole, but I don't know whether it did.
Yeah, no, I think it touched the left edge. My caddy and I were a little between just outside left, inside the hole. I thought it was going to go a little right, and it just wobbled. I thought I hit a really good putt, and what I've learned over the past month is just to analyze, putts that don't go in the hole. What did I do well or what did I not do well? Learn and go on from the next. And I felt like I hit a good putt. Hopefully there's some footage that I can just look back and see if I hit a good putt or not. But from my perspective, I felt like I hit a good putt. That's all I can do. It just seemed like it wobbled a little bit, and you live and you learn. You go on to the weekend, and hopefully a few more drop. I'm sorry?
How long did you have it? Did you?
I think it was, 8, 10 feet.
Okay, time for one last question. Chris, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you could take us through 13, since that's obviously a big hole for you, and how you saw that.
Yeah, the drive, I didn't think I was going to reach that left bunker, but in the back of my mind, I was a little wary of possibly getting there because it wasn't blowing too hard. Blocked it outright, put it in that bunker. And just didn't want to get aggressive with it. I told myself earlier in the week that if we're in one of these bunkers, don't get stupid, just hit it out, play smart, and hopefully make par that way. Took a 50-degree out, hit it great, and I think I had 115 in, hit a pitching wedge into the wind, and the entire shot looked like it was right on a string. You know, it looked straight at the hole. And then the putt, you know, it was a huge putt. It was one of those rounds, or one of those holes that 13th hole, you know, you still have a lot of holes left, par 5 next. Making par was huge, you know, build momentum hopefully towards the end of the round and, you know, finished even, I think, the rest of the holes, but that really saved the day.
Well, Colin, excellent round today. Thank you for joining us and best of luck for the weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.